Greetings. Let us continue with numericals on deflection of determinate frames. Numerical number 4. Figure shows a loaded truss. The sectional area of the member are such that the tensile stresses in member are 120 MPa while the compressive stresses is 75 MPa. Find the vertical deflection of the joint C. Take E equals to 200 kN per mm square. It is supposed to find out the deflection at the joint C of this assembly cantilever frame which is given to us, where the members are so proportioned that the cross-sectional area is going to yield stress, maximum tensile stress not more than 120 MPa and maximum compressive stress not more than 75 MPa. So to begin here with, we will find out some geometric proportion. Let us find out the angle E with reference to the triangle BDE. We can say tan inverse BD divided by DE will give us the angle E, which comes to be tan inverse 4 by 5 because height of the frame is given as 4 and bay width is 3. So it results into 53.13 degree. Angle E and angle C, they are equal because the bay width given is equal, whereas angle B and E are adjacent to each other. That's why they will bear the same value. We require the components like sine component and cos component. The cos of theta will be equals to 0.8, whereas cos of theta will be equals to 0.6 and sine of theta will be equals to 0.8. Now, if we want to find out the forces in the member, we will begin with the force analysis. We will go with the joint by joint analysis. Let us consider joint C first. If we prepare free body diagram at joint C, there are three forces acting. One is the vertically moving downward load, W applied load, and to counterbalance this, I am going to consider here the vector of the member forces in such a manner that they are being in equilibrium with the applied force. I am considering FBC for vector B tensile in nature, whereas FCD be in compressive in nature, so that vertical component of FBC is going to balance the applied load. If I apply a static equilibrium equation for this particular free body diagram, we get summation of Fy equals to 0, a relation FBC sine theta minus W equals to 0, resulting into value FBC equals to W by sine theta is 0.8, it results into 1.25 W tensile in nature. Now let's go with the horizontal equilibrium here. Summation of forces in horizontal direction results into a relation minus BC cos of theta plus FDC. FBC is going towards the left hand side, FDC is going towards the right hand side. It bears cos with reference to horizontal axis, cos component with reference to horizontal axis. Here the sign has been put as a negative, read it as a positive. So the result is about FDC is equals to 0.75 W compressive in nature. Since I am going to identify what the nature of the forces being applied or what vectors the member is going to carry, so I will put the vectors here notation in terms of arrows, which shows the pushing action means it's a compressive force. If it shows a pulling action, I am going to say it as a tensile force which is going to develop here. Now I will move towards the next joint D. If we prepare a free body diagram for joint D, we will have four forces at the joint D: FDB, FDC, W kilonewton going downward applied load, and FDE. If I apply a static equilibrium equation for this free body diagram, we will get summation of Fx is equals to 0 minus FDC plus FDE is equals to 0. Hence we can say FDC is equals to FDE, which equals to 0.75 W compressive in nature. If I apply summation for vertical forces, it results into a relation FBD minus W equals to 0. From this we can say FBD is equals to W kilonewton tensile in nature. This vector I will put on the diagram, so showing the action in the member forces. Here the member forces will be tensile in nature in case of BD, whereas it will be in compressive nature in case of member DE. Now we'll move towards the joint B, where we'll identify there are four forces acting at the joint B: FAB, FBE, FBD and FBC. Among this, FBC and FBD is being evaluated by us in previous cases, where the unknowns are only FBE and FAB. So if I apply a static equilibrium equation for this particular free body diagram, it results into a relation FBE sine of theta minus W minus FBC sine of theta equals to 0. From this, the value of FBC is known to us. If we substitute the individual values, W is nothing but the force in the member FBD. If we put this substitute this particular values here, known values, we get a value of FBE equals to 2.5 kilonewton compressive in nature. FBE is said to be here compressive in nature. Whereas if I go with a horizontal equation, it results into a relation FBE cos theta plus FBC cos theta, both are going towards right hand side, minus FAB. If you substitute the individual value of forces in member BE and BC, we get a resultant force in member AB equals to 2.25 W, which is in tensile nature. So I will mark this vector on the figure here so as to have a ready reference while calculating the deflection here. So after completing the force analysis, I will go towards the unit load analysis. What we do in case of unit load analysis, we apply a unit load at the joint where we are interested to find out the deflection. So here at the joint C, we are interested to know the deflection at the joint C. That's why I applied a unit load of 1 Newton at the joint C. The reason behind applying 1 Newton force is that we are going to address the things in terms of stress component, which is given in MPa. To have uniformity in the dimension, I am going to say here 1 Newton force is being uniformity in units. I am going to apply here 1 Newton force. Now I will do the K analysis for this, means coefficient analysis, the distribution of this 1 Newton force among the members. So we'll begin with the joint C first. If we prepare free body diagram, it shows there are 3 forces. Coefficient BC, coefficient of member force BC, coefficient for member force DC, and the one unit load which we have applied downward, acting downward in direction. So from static equilibrium equation, we can say summation of Fy equals to 0 yield KBC sine theta minus 1 equals to 0. Yes, KBC sine component will come, which is going to balance this unit load which was applied, resulting into a value of KBC equals to 1 by sine theta, which comes to 1.25 Newton tensile in nature. Similarly, if I go with horizontal direction, we get a static minus KBC cos of theta. Again here negative sign is being appearing. Consider it as a positive KDC equals to 0. And if we know the value of KBC here, if we substitute, we will get the unknown force KDC, which comes to be 0.75 Newton compressive in nature. Now I will go to the next marking of this vector on the figure so as to have a ready reference. Here BC is said to be tensile in nature and CD is said to be in compressive nature. Now I will prepare the free body diagram for joint D. For joint D, we will have 3 forces here: force in member DC, force in member DE, and force in member DB. Among this, KDC is known to us. 2 are the unknown forces here. If I apply static equilibrium equation, it results into a relation summation of Fx equals to 0 minus KDC plus KDE is equals to 0. KDC equals to KDE, which equals to 0.75 W in compression. Now if we move with a vertical direction, we can say KBD minus 0. There is no external load in vertical direction to balance the member force. That's why this member will not be under any type of stress. It will have 0 force. So we can say KBD is going to carry 0 force. So if you mark on the vector diagram, it appears like this. Remember DE is having compressive force, whereas DE is going to carry 0 force. Now we'll go towards the next joint. Next joint is joint B. If we prepare free body diagram, there are 4 forces here: KBC, KBDA, KBD, BE, and AB. Among this, KBC and KBD is known to us from the previous analysis. Only the 2 unknown forces is KAB and KBE. If I take here equilibrium along vertical direction, we can say KBE sin theta minus KBC sin theta minus of KBD. KBD is 0. That's are not placed in the equation. From this relation, we can say KBE and KBC are equal in magnitude, and they are equal in magnitude, and that they are in compressive nature. Now summation of forces in horizontal direction yield into a value. Since the KBC value is 1.25 and KBE value is also 1.25, we can say twice the KBE. Here if you multiply this way, twice, because both are going to move in a horizontal direction, we can say twice KBE cos theta will minus KAB equals to 0, resulting into KAB value as 1.5 Newton in tensile nature. Now this with this we have completed all the K coefficient calculation of K forces in the member. Now what we will do, we will assemble this all results in a tabular format, where the first column will deal with the member. So we have 6 members here: AB, BC, CD, DE, EB, BD. The second column we will place here the stresses. Instead of putting here P forces, I am going to say it as a stresses, and we can say P by A is nothing but the stress. So I am going to reduce the part in the equation F by A, the force by A, this part with a sigma value. So here I am going to directly put the value of maximum stress they can carry. As it says that if the member is going to carry tensile force, put here minus 120. Means I am not going to substitute here force value. I am going to substitute here the stress value, because I have to think over the equilibrium of the stresses. What the statement says, they should bear maximum tensile stress as a 120 and maximum compressive stress as a 75, and the cross section areas are so proportional, this is said. So that's why AB is going to carry tensile force minus 120, BC is carrying tensile force minus 120, CD is compressive 75, DE is compressive in nature 75, EB bears compressive force 75, and BD bears tensile force minus 120. Then I have substituted the length here in mm, because we are going with reference to the unit system Newton mm. So I'm going to put here the value in terms of mm. 3000, AB length is 3000, horizontal bay distance is equal to AB distance. Then BC is inclined member, 3 plus 4 square comes to be 5. So we can say it as a 5000 mm. Then CD is 3000, DE 3000, EB inclined member 5000, and BD 4000. Now I have substituted the value of K force here in terms of Newton. The AB carries minus 1.5, BC carries minus 1.25, means it is being tensile in nature, whereas 0.75 CD, 0.75 DE, they are compressive in nature, and EB carries about 1.25, and whereas BD is the vertical member is carrying a zero force here. Now if we take a product of this, instead of doing here Fi, Ki, Li by Ae, I am going to say it as a product as a sigma K into L into 10 raised to 3, means whatever the results is they are in the power of 10 raised to 3. That's 10 raised to 3 I have taken common, and the terms which remains outside I have put into the here tabular format. So the product of first column, first row is minus 120 multiplied by 3000 multiplied by minus 1.5 result into 540. 750, second one 750, 168.75, 168.75, 468.75, and summation of all this value comes to be 2096.25. Okay, if I want to find out the deflection at the point C, we are going to say the summation of Fi, Ki, Li divided by Ae. So we have replaced Fi by A with reference to sigma. What remains here? Only E. So what I have done here, I have divided it by the value of E, which was given in terms of kilonewton per mm square. So it was 200 kilonewton per mm square. So I have converted that into Newton. 200 into 10 raised to 3, 10 raised to 3, 10 raised to 3 may get cancelled here. What remains? The ratio comes to be 10.48 mm. So we can say here the deflection at the joint C is about 10.48 mm, ensuring that the member are not going to overstress in tensile with reference to 120 MPa, and in case of compression with a maximum value of 75 MPa. That's complete the total analysis of the frame. Hope you have understood the things. With this I will stop my lecturing here. In next lecture I will come with a more numerical on deflection of a determinate frame with a different statement and different case study. Till then, stay at home, be safe, be healthy. Thank you.